Welcome back to D Gemini Show, and I am your host, D Gemini. This is part 9. I think it is part 9 of my autobiography for Jamal. Today, talking about leveling the playing field. You see, I think I left off talking about me being rejected. Right, I was rejected, and I took it like it was because of who I was, fat, black, and ugly. Fat because I was always big for my age, black because my skin is dark, and ugly. I never knew why anybody called me ugly. Everybody called me ugly. I didn't know why. One day I looked in the mirror and I said, I got 2 eyes, a nose, a mouth like everybody else. I am not ugly, definitely. I'll just be whatever I want to be. I decided I wanted to be beautiful, and ever since then, I've been kind of gorgeous, IJS. And after that, I was about 11 years old when that leveling the playing field came about. Like I said, I remember that because I just was hurt. I was hurt, but hurt, and didn't want to be hurt anymore in that way. So I decided I wouldn't be ugly anymore. I would just be whatever I wanted to be. So I was like, I got what everybody else has. We all have the same thing. No, I won't be ugly anymore. And that was the day that, stuff started to change. Because after that, I had my first kiss. It was in church. Harry. He had some really big lips. Still got them to this day. I'm pretty sure his wife enjoys them. But yeah, he had some really, really big lips. And he was a few years older than I was. I was about 12, in between 11 and 12, something like that. He was like 14, 15. And with the tongue, oh my gosh. That was so nice. Yep, that was my first kiss. I remember that. It was in church, in the pews. How did we pull that off? I don't think anybody else was in the sanctuary. It was like, I remember he said, come in here for a minute. And I was like, that's the church. That's the sanctuary. And he said, yeah, come in here. Nobody was in there. It was dark and it was quiet, but it wasn't that dark. It wasn't pitch black because our sanctuary was huge, big windows and everything. Just the lights weren't on, but it wasn't very dark. But yeah, the kiss was hot. It was warm. You know what I mean? Like I remember all that heat. And it was like kind of a little bit too moist. But anyway, that was my first kiss. Yeah, I remember it was a little too moist. I ain't gonna lie. It was like wet. Anyway, so also I mentioned that I started a choir. I think it was in the 6th grade. And in the 7th grade, they took my choir. And when I say they, I'm talking about everybody, the staff, the principal, the teachers. Next thing I know, they had hired a music teacher, which they hadn't had music as a part of the curriculum until that time. And they hired a music teacher. And, my mom was really mad about that. I remember she was like, nobody's giving Niecy credit for that. Why did they just take that from her? And it did hurt my feelings. But I saw the bigger picture. That choir is still in existence today, I'm sure. We did a lot of good things. It got to be huge. And, it was all because I started that. So I still do remember that. I take pride in that. Anyway, this is going to be short. They get shorter all the time. But I'm going to keep them coming. And thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing. See you next time. Peace.